in the afternoon. Now, welcome back, One Crack News. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's get things assessed. 2025, the year of the independent woman. The independent man. Everybody's independent. Relationships are ending faster than they start. People have not yet learned to live together. And you meet people who are very codependent. You know, doing something on their own is a new fucking thing to them. They want to be in a relationship. They need to have somebody sitting on the side of them, somebody to boss around, or partner with, or feel love, companionship. Now, what you end up with are a lot of 35-year-olds, 40-year-old teenagers. You heard me right. 30-year-old, 40-year-old teenagers. Now, I know what you're probably saying. Why is this the case? Why am I subject to such an egregious outcome? It just doesn't make any sense. Why is this the case? It doesn't seem to add up. Well, it's like this, and people should understand. If one person in the party isn't willing to commit, what's the sense of having the party? What's the point? Now, I've seen these scenarios, man. And the one that just happened 3 days ago is crazy to me. Because you can be independent, right? But still say, hey, I'm independent, but I'm willing to work with you, work on this relationship thing. I have no problems working with you on this. Let's do something. There's called a compromise. Compromise to a woman means, basically, most women, that it goes their way. That's the compromise. And then the next time, well, you're going to argue every time, but that ends up being the hook, line, and sinker. Men and women both suffer from the same ideology. You're not going to act the same way you are when you first meet the girl. When you first meet her and you like her, you're not going to act the same way. It's just not going to happen. That first time you fart in front of her, next thing you know, she's taking a dump in front of you in the bathroom. You're walking in, you're brushing your teeth, getting in the shower, and she's sitting there taking a dump. It's all the magic is gone at this point. Now y'all just used to each other. And y'all are in this relationship now. So it's a mess. It's a complete mess. And then you wonder why there isn't a spark. Now, if you're on a quest to be independent and you want to remain independent and don't want to ever be in that situation, then that's fine. Let the other person know. Don't be selfish. But my thing is, if you're going to be independent, stop complaining the other person ain't doing nothing for you. What the hell would they do for you if you're independent and you want to be independent? You don't want them to do anything. You don't want them to be in this situation. You don't want people to help. You don't want people to do these things. You want to do it. So do it. How you going to be independent, but you keep asking other people to do stuff for you? You're independent, good. We're going to get independent checks. We're going to get independent bills. We're going to get independent everything. Since you don't want to be involved in this, you going to pay for your half, I'm going to pay for my half. That's the way it's going to go then. You independent. You could at least buy me dinner. Why? You're independent. You shouldn't want that. That goes against your code of being independent. Men don't really talk about their independence. They don't have to. They're men. I've never heard a man say, I'm Mr. Independent. It's like, why would you need to do that? You're a man. There's no need to say nothing like that. Okay. But nowadays, independent men are not usually found. What you have is a bunch of independent boys. That's right, boys. Now, what's the problem in that scenario? When you have independent boys, guess what the boys do? The independent boys think it's best, and in their best intentions, it is good and great for the, whatever they say, good for the goose, good for the gander and all that. It is in their best interest to live and mooch off of mama as long as they can. Mama and daddy. They'll be 38, still living at home. Man, it's too expensive out there. Have you looked? They don't even want to be independent. They don't even want to get started. Most of that comes from at home and the parenting. Most men now are being raised by their mom and grandmama. Especially in the black households. And what that leads to is a failure to launch. Failure to take off. Failure for you to get out of the nest. Where you're forced to grow up. Face responsibilities. You got to pay the bill. You can't always run home. That option is there. But they want you to get into life and say, hey, ain't nowhere for us to run. See, you get to run back to the house and get back to Head Start and be like, it's rough out there. It was like, we know, you need to get out there. You need to, what did you learn? See, you can't blow all your checks on gym shoes and video games anymore. What did you learn? So when you got this failure to launch system that's going on, all of these doggone women, what's up, KB? All of these doggone women seem to keep making plans. And these plans are not going in the direction that they like. The majority of these women, they want their cake and eat it too. They want to not give a shit about you, but you're supposed to give a shit about them. How in the world does that happen? On what planet does that happen? Then they'll say, I do care about you when I'm caring about you. I do care about you. That's crazy. These people, they play these songs and they believe these songs. Meanwhile, the people you listening to are the most miserable people in the world. Y'all listening to Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion. That's right, Meg, we ain't taking that. Meanwhile, Meg done been in 48 relationships. Now she done fell on Klay Thompson. She looking like a damn caramel, a candy apple stick. Head just, she done Ozempic her damn body to death. And all you did was teach little kids to twerk. Cardi B, Meg, none of these women have been an example of any standards to follow. But they tell us that's what we worship. When they talk about leaders with us, you know what they talk about? You got, look at the leaders in your community. That's good examples. You got LeBron James. You got Denzel Washington. You got great examples. Look at Morgan Freeman. Sugar Ray Leonard. Muhammad Ali. Those were great leaders. Great-minded people. Great examples. In any country in this world, when they start talking about the greatest people in the world, right, that people should be looking at and say, hey, that's the person that's figuring it out. That's the person that's got something going on the brain. They never mention any professional athletes when it comes to world leaders. Who white they telling them to look up to? You think they telling them, hey, look up to Eminem. Look up to Tom Brady. These are your leaders. These are your examples. That's what you should be. They don't sell that to white folks. Hell no. That's not, they don't even push that as a standard of excellence for them. No matter how great of a person they was. They don't preach professional athlete. That's who you should strive to be for whites. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Don. But yeah, normally you probably got to watch that sodium. If you got sodium intake, you'll wake up with, if you had too much sodium, you got to drink some more water. Well, that's what I'm saying. In no country in this world is women leading men. No country in this world. Here in America, they preach the woman got the power. Why are they doing that? And they wondering why the country is backwards. Woman is supposed to follow man. I didn't make those rules. Y'all claim y'all love God and all that, but God's the one that set the rules. Now you gonna tell God he wrong? Who said following man is a bad thing? The man is the head of the household. Who said that was a bad thing? Now, if it's just no man there and you in the household, then okay. But when you stop letting a man be a man, what is he supposed to do? The male's job was to protect and provide for the family. The man on this planet is the only one required in relationship to do something. The woman's not required to do anything. The man's job is to protect and provide. Show me another country where a woman is ruling, I'll just shut up. And you know what these other countries have? Stronger families. Because the order is in line. Male, woman, child. And when they get older, those childs are well educated. They go out into the world. And they're leaving us behind in education. Science, mathematics, economics. And it's like America's the #1 country. In what? In wholesale purchases, probably. In what? We're not even close in education. And that's by design. How are we getting dumber every year and we have all this technology around us full of information? Because you physically not getting up, going to the library to go read a book. You're not physically getting up, going outside, doing things. You're not physically active, which increase heart disease. You're just sitting around video gaming all day, not moving. The body needs to move. Till it gets to a point where it can't do those things anymore. And your body slowly starts shutting down. But now you got people 20 and 30 years old dying of old age now from these doggone drugs. But it all starts from this independence. Most men are forced to be independent. They didn't choose that route. It's just that they're not finna settle for somebody that's immature and not ready to be an adult. What I look like getting in a relationship with a 35-year-old teenager. Damn, she look good, but yeah, she still wearing trampy stuff for attention. Why? Because she didn't get the teachings at home. Beauty is within. Okay. I know some people that look like a 3, but they carry themselves like they are 25. And hell, they be pulling dudes. So I'm like, well, damn. Beauty is in within. It's how you view yourself. So what you need to do with all your children is to promote self-esteem. You need to build up a child's self-esteem because you're going to have to send them out in the world. Their self-esteem need to be strong that nobody outside could tear them down. Trying to shield them like, hey, they got bullied in school. They messing with them. They need to go through that as a kid because they're going to get bullied in real life. They ain't going to know how to take it. They can't come running to you as an adult. They need to stand up to that bully. They need to go through that. See, that's the major problem in the scenario. Most people just don't get it. Right, a woman want to be independent, cool, that's no problem. You choose to be independent, stop asking for things that go against your independence. Why do you want a man to pay for dinner for you? You independent. If a man is independent, stop demanding things from the other person. Now, you could do because you want to do, that's fine. Like if I take a girl to dinner, I invited her there. I wanted your company here, so I don't mind paying for the dinner. I invited you. But if you invite me out to dinner, then you must be paying. You wanted to do this, not me. But if you don't want to pay, fine. I'll pay for my own meal. You pay for yours. How you invite me to something that I got to pay for? For the both of us. Where we do that at? But you're independent. No, I'm not a cheapskate. Like, I don't mind spending on somebody who I feel deserves it. That I think, hey, this person deserves that. This person has been with me. This person earned this. Or I wanted to do that. Some of these women, they think small term. Their mind is small. They start thinking about dumb stuff. Girl, I'm finna get a bag. I'm gonna give me a little that Tom Jones bag or whatever. Girl, he got me a bag. Girl, I told you, girl, I can get me a bag. I'm like, yeah, you got a bag that's empty, that's full of makeup. That little bitty bag means nothing to the overall scope of things. You just put your self-worth into a product. One individual product that you won't get nothing else out of. Stupid. And then they don't understand why they're in the situation they're in. Yeah, I remember this chick, man, fine, gorgeous. But you could tell she can't really hold a conversation with you. She's used to looking good. That's her beauty is a curse. All she thinks about is shoes and a purse. That's it. And it's sad. I see it a lot. These daddy little girls. And all of these daddy little girls, they grew up in their 30s with strawberry shortcake on the pillow still. They're daddy's little princess. And they never teach them to grow up to be women. And they keep running back to daddy, running back to mommy. And then men got to deal with this out in the world. So their self-esteem come from someone telling them how beautiful they look and what happened when you don't think you're beautiful no more. And nobody's saying nothing about you. Now what happened? You dress and wear the most skankiest thing in God creation. just for attention. So people can still look at you. But what is that doing for your life? What is that doing for your life? All your friends are moving on, getting married. Now you feel like you being left behind. So you go out and run and marry the wrong person that looking at you, not because he loved you. He loved what you look like. This girl I told y'all, she was beautiful. All drop dead gorgeous. Wouldn't talk to nobody at the place until she got to where our division was. We were the assistant managers, so we had to wear suits. Just because we was in a suit, boom, they forgot that we was just like them. We assistants, so we wearing suits. Immediately, her brain she looked at me different. Like, hey, how you doing? Everything flirting. She's doing everything in her power to try to be more and more in my life. All because I was wearing a suit. And then her conversations are like, what's your favorite color? And I'm like, how old are you? Let's play pick which hand. Just like little childish like games. Then I'm like, she's 29? Like, what the hell? She's 29. Finds out she's got a son. She's on the run from the baby daddy. He and his mom, who was controlling their entire life. So she just got up and left because he was abusive and all this, and the mom made excuses for him. So she ran, came all the way to Chicago, left Minnesota, came all the way out here for a whole new start. And I was like, getting a job here where they could track you all the way to this city, to this job, that doesn't make sense. So anytime they want, they can come up here. It's only a matter of time for that happens. So you would think, okay, why don't you go to child services? Why didn't you? They got so many laws to protect you. But she don't have the ingenuity. So I began to try to help this woman. But all she wanted somebody to do was everything for her, but she's independent and strong. I'm independent and strong. I could do this myself. We don't need no man. But I was like, if you didn't need no man, then why the hell are you asking me to do all this for you? Trying to get the services number, do all this stuff for her. I'm like trying to get her to live in an assistance place where she can get situated. I'm giving her all the information she needs. What does she want? Let's go to dinner. Let's go do this. I'm thinking she finna go to dinner to like thank me. She finna pay. She want me to pay for the damn dinner and go out on dinner. And she wants to reward me with sex. Now, after I take the sex, no, I wasn't turning that down. But after I do this, then I said, okay, now we can ask some questions. Now we can ask some questions. What made you run from Minnesota? What's going on here? Let's get to the gist of this situation. What is the root of this problem? And when I take her to her house or where she lives, it's not a pristine area. And she got her friend that's with her, and I had to go pick the baby up for her. And I thought her son was like maybe 3, 4. This son is probably about 8 months, 8, 9 months. So I'm like, Dad, you just had this baby. And you've been working here for months. So you must have had the baby, took the baby as an infant, and ran all the way down here and started working. Then you start noticing things. Because I had to carry the baby upstairs. He was asleep. We brought the baby from her friend's house. And she was so nervous about me coming up. She didn't want me to come inside of that house. And I was like, she's like, my place is a mess. I didn't clean up. I don't want you to come in. I'm like, I'm just going to hand you the baby and I'm gone. I don't want to be in this neighborhood more than 10 seconds. I got a Mercedes downstairs. I'm thinking my hubcap's going to be gone or something. I come up there, I'm carrying the baby thing. As soon as the door opens a little bit, and I'm like, oh my God. Just handed her a baby. And her friend came out and was like, oh, okay. Let me, she's like, what her friend say? She had a friend that was in there. She was, oh, okay, hey, give me the bag and all that. I got this. Yeah, we got it. Okay, yeah, you can go. I opened that door. On the floor, it's like 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 heads in like sleeping bags. And some of them wasn't sleeping bags. They was just on a pillow with a blanket over them. And I'm like, what the hell? There's no furniture. And I figured out what's going on. I figured out immediately. Her friend who got whatever benefits or whatever has got that place. Like through the Child Protective Services or whatever. And she basically rents this place out for people to just come and crash, and they pay money real cheap. They can't afford rent. So she had like 10 to a damn house on her government assisted program. And this girl's paying like something like $75 to live there in a house with like 10 dudes. And I'm just like, I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm out. So she might dress up like $100, like $1,000 million bucks, and look like that when she walk out the door. But her life in real life, when she go back home, it's hell. It's a living hell. And it's all because of the choices that they made. And I was like, look, I saw your conditions. Look, I tried to help you. Call the number, call these people. They can help you. They can get you housing so you can get up out of that. Nope. Didn't want to listen. She's independent. She got it. And I was like, all right, well then I can't have nothing to do with this no more. She was like, that's okay. I'm independent and strong. If you can't handle it, what do I need to handle? This is not my responsibility. It's yours. I don't have to handle nothing. I go back home and turn on doggone Netflix or something. I'm good. I have to worry about none of this. You do. And then she started telling the girl, yeah, but he took me to dinner though. And I saw a movie. We went to a movie. We did that. So at least I got that. Girl, he ain't getting this for nothing. And I just said, oh my God. That's how much worth you put on yourself? Jesus Christ. A dinner and a movie is what you allocate yourself for. Do you know how less of money that was? It ain't like we went to Chez La Fleur. I didn't take you to Spago's. Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, man, the amount of things you would have to deal with as a man, believe me, it knows no ends, no bounds. Well, some of them are like that. So if you got kids, man, you got to build up their self-esteem, because the world is going to do nothing but tear it down anyway. I'm not saying they got to be primetime Dion. They didn't need to do no work with him. Primetime believed he was everything from jump. She didn't have a father in her life. That was a very good observation. Her father wasn't in her life. Father and mother were separated. They had her when, they weren't even married. They just was together, had a baby, and then he became a baby daddy, who she saw sparingly. And he moved out of Minnesota, and she stayed in Minnesota. The mom, because she was on welfare. Minnesota's the #1 state for welfare. So she never had the tools. So when someone tried to help you, because he knew you didn't have the tools, that was me. I know you didn't have these tools. You need help. She want to be Miss Independent. Well, if you're independent and you don't need nobody for help, then by all means, do it. The floor is yours. Do it yourself. But that wasn't the case. That was not the case. Come to find out, she was dependent. You do need help. It's hard to do it alone. Nobody wants to do it alone. So it's not a celebration to be like, I got to do it all on myself. If I got to go to work and do everybody else's job, I'll be pissed off. You would want some help, right? You're like, hey, everybody do their part. So if you got to do every damn thing, and nobody's saying that it's all the woman's fault. This is not the woman's fault. Men are messed up too, because a lot of these men are out here overgrown babies. So what are they supposed to be dependent on? How you gonna protect and provide when all you want to do is play video games and get high? Telling me about the latest Jordans. So these boys are out here afraid to be men, ain't taught to be men. And some of the moms keep them around to replace them as the husband. They the ones that getting fussed at. Take that garbage out. You do this. You do that. See, they treat them not like a kid or not like their child, like their husband. Some mom don't want them to leave the house. They go, no, no, no. You do not leave this house. You ain't got to go nowhere. Shoot, I knew a woman, man, moved her son and his wife and their kids into her house, and they was going to save up to get them a new place. They sold their crib. And she was like, oh, you can come here. Yeah, y'all save y'all money up, y'all pay rent, and that be that. Man, his mom is like the mob, boy. Straight up like the mob. Soon as she got them in there and they trying to say to get to a new place, she just caused all kind of drama to keep them there. She kept raising the rent. They was like, "Ma, you raising rent? Well, everything else going up. I gotta raise it." And she pulled a gildo, had a legal casino going on, card games all through the backyard. That place was ran like a casino. She knew how to collect her rake, unlike Gildo. she wasn't stupid about it. She's like, "Oh no, I'm not that dummy. I know how to get my rake." This dummy probably in the text messages, "Can you send my rake?" He probably spelt the word rake. And he'll be like, "Well, you spelt rake right here." "Oh, I did? Damn." Oh yeah, Gildo. He's saying he ain't worried about his case. He finna go in there and I'm tell you, if that boy walked, that boy talked. I'm gonna tell you that now. Gildo walked, he talked. You know that. That's what I'm saying. If he breathing, he lying. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So all of these different people keep going through the motions. They keep going through these scenarios. KB is in the chat. Overgrown kids, they got to step up to the plate. Yeah, you got to get to a realization. And when you don't get to a realization point, you have nothing but a sea of detractors that come up out of nowhere and they try to disturb your peace of happiness and enjoyment. But that's what I'm saying. If you want to be independent, be independent. Stop trying to pretend that you're something that you're not. The easiest thing you could do is sit back and cause conflict in your own life because you're making the wrong decisions and you refuse to grow up. You want to be a baby forever, scared of the world. I just don't understand that behavior. I really don't, because it's not going to help you. I'll be like, mommy and daddy ain't going to live forever. You're supposed to outlive them. You're going to have to make decisions and do things on your own. then where you gonna be? I'm just smart enough to not settle down. There's no such thing as the perfect woman. Like everybody, like, I'm waiting on that perfect one. I'm not waiting on the perfect woman. I'm waiting on a woman that gets it, that understands, and that you could live with. And I'm like, okay, she gets it. She understands. So not settling is the case. Shoot, I've had women offer to marry me. So it's crazy. Women want the show, but don't want to do what actually details of being a wife. Everybody was mad because David Justice said cook and clean. It's like, oh my God, he wants her to cook and clean. I'm like, that's not even a bad thing. Y'all make it sound like a bad thing. Why can't he cook and clean? He probably does. Probably was tired of being the only one that cooks and cleans. I mean, but you don't marry an actress who's on an A-list actress. You know, nobody finna ask Angelina Jolie to go cook. You ain't gonna ask Scarlett Johansson what she got on the stove. Hey, Scarlett Johansson, when them ribs gonna be done? So that's just how it moves. So anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. I gotta be somewhere. So I'm out. We'll holler later. Deuces.